same as when was the last time we did a podcast?
It's about a week and a half ago.
About a week and a half ago.
So today is December 13, 2020. I turned 31 last week.
30. Yes, sir. My boy, 31. Tres, uno.
Feels like 21, but a little bit more.
31 Savage, 31.
Yeah. He's just a little bit
I remember when I turned 31, we had a dinner at Momofuku and you were there.
I remember that.
What did we do after that? We went downtown? I think we went downtown.
Probably, yeah.
We had dinner. We pre-gamed and had dinner at Momofuku. Wonderful dinner. Lovely dinner. Extravagant dinner. It was just boss. Then we went downtown and just partied, man.
Yeah.
But that was 2 years ago. So, like, this year for my birthday, it was like the month after pandemic started. So I literally just stayed home, did nothing, bro. I had like some Zoom call, family and all that. But yeah, man.
Yeah, that was during a weird time too, because that's when it's like straight up started. So it wasn't like people weren't as like, right now.
Everyone was shook.
Yeah, everybody was shook. Yeah, pretty much. But for me, I went to Herbs and Rye for my birthday dinner with my girl. Just announcement that they are doing their happy hour all day, every day now. So
stop, get out. Did you had to make a reservation and all that?
Yeah, you can make a reservation.
Obviously,
you could do it online. They do it through like this service called like 7 Rooms or some shit. But if you just put Herbs and Rye, they have like a thing on Google. You just put reserve a table. It's pretty easy.
All day, every day?
All day, every day, 5 p.m. to 3 a.m. Half off steaks, half off certain appetizers, pastas, half off drinks. They need
was
that business.
Was it packed?
Oh, yeah, it was packed.
Damn,
it was packed, man, because it was, it was very limited. Like the bar seating was like probably you can only get 2 groups of 3 at the bar. Then there was
they were seating people at the bar.
Yeah, just like I don't know. Hopefully, Sis like don't shut their ass down, but but yeah, it was very it was spread out. It was like the 6 feet regulation, all that shit. Our server was really nice. It's funny. I texted the homie that used to work there. I was like, I wish you were here, man, but he's not there. So,
yeah, man, that would have been.
Yeah, it was good. I had a ribeye steak with blue cheese crust.
Ooh.
Truffle mac and cheese, garlic mash. They hooked it up with a free dessert because it was the B-Day.
Yeah.
I had a pasta too, like a pesto pasta, hammy pasta.
Nice.
It's pretty fire, man. And then I got like fucking lit.
What were you drinking on?
I was drinking old fashions, man. That's the thing I always get. I always get a fucking Herbs and Rye because they just do it right and it just hits fucking super hard. Hits. I had like 3, dude, and I was just like, told my girl,
it hits harder over there for some reason.
Yeah, I told my girl like, you gotta drive. Let's drive back to the hotel. Yeah, I got a hotel too, so I just got a hotel at Palace Station because it was close. It was like central, so you go downtown. You could but I was just trying to make it central, and so all station casinos right now are doing like they're waiving resort fees.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody doesn't know, you get a resort fee because like you could usually go to the pool or use the gym or whatever. But since the pandemic, a lot of casinos are still charging for the resort fee, but you can't use any of the amenities because of COVID. So it's a waste of money. So if you're a Nevada resident, you get your resort fees waived by Station Casino.
Nice.
So if you ever want to do like a stay, like we got like the second to best room, like King Studio Suite, and it was cool. Yeah,
that's dope.
Yeah, I just enjoyed myself the whole week. It was like birthday week. I went out. I did some other things. So I went to Area 15. I want to talk about this. So Area 15 is, by the was it on Rancho?
It's off the 15.
Yeah.
All like off Rancho.
Can't fucking miss it. So I'll give them an A for effort.
Yeah.
But man, because I went in, I did this like it was like a 360 projector lighting. Like there was in a big room, you sit on a couch, you get a free drink with admission, and they do like a slideshow, with lights. And like it was all right, maybe because like, I don't know if they made it seem like you gotta be on something. Like you gotta trip because it's like a lot of like psychedelic patterns and lighting shows, like, stuff like that. But I wasn't really that impressed with it, especially since I had to pay like a good amount of money to see the show,
Yeah.
But it was all right. And then they had this like Christmas thing. They call it Wanderlust, right, in the back. I thought it was gonna be cool, but it was like pretty weak, to be honest. Like,
damn,
anybody that like supports Area 15 and stuff. I'm sorry, I'm just being honest, because they did like all they did was put like it was a half a circle in the back of Area 15. So you go outside, half a circle of regular Christmas trees with lights, and then they had like these like little domes with like little gray aliens, like life-size aliens around. But I was like, that was kind of weak, man, because like if those Christmas trees were like 25 feet tall, like hella high, and then like you're like look like you're in a forest, dope.
Yeah, that'd be dope. Yeah,
but it didn't really.
Just like some regular ass shit.
Regular, man, like A for effort, and also a lot of because Area 15 is supposed to be like a big complex with so many different things to do.
Yeah,
like,
they're not open yet.
Not open, but they have to open because
Meow Wolf was open yet? No.
Nah, when I went there, it was closed. Yeah. And then they're supposed to do like a golfing thing, like a Top Golf-esque, like virtual golf.
There's supposed to be like this gallery of this artist that I've been following, Alium, I think his name is, and it's like this super psychedelic glow in the dark artist, and he has his gallery in there, but I don't even think that's open yet. Because when I went like a month ago, it was like half the shit was open.
Yeah, I don't know. It's cool and all, but I think if it was just open, and like
it's gotta be like full-fledged open, and they gotta take more advantage of the space,
like less
or like
do
better stuff.
Less restrictions. Like I could see it could be like a really big version of Gold Spike or something,
Yeah, right. You see the potential. They could do a lot with the space, but right now it's pretty weak. It's like soft opening type shit.
Yeah, but I had to go check it out. And
what else you do?
Oh yeah, I checked out the new casino that opened downtown, Circa.
Oh yeah, how was that? Is that the adults only one?
Adults only. So they check your ID immediately. Really cool sports book. Probably the best I've seen in Vegas for sure. It's pretty gigantic, dude. It's like, man, those screens are huge, and it's a 2-story. So you could like, they have a balcony area with like just like video poker and stuff, and you could sit there and watch the games, or you go downstairs and you can still see this big gigantic screen that like divides all the games up and stuff.
Nice.
Not much in there either, because everything's kind of closed. You can't book hotels yet. Or maybe you can now, but at the time you couldn't. It feels like a like cosmopolitan hotel casino.
Oh, okay.
It brought me that type of
posh, younger crowd.
Yeah.
Party vibe.
And then you walk outside, boom, right there by like Golden Nugget. They see all the crackheads, and then.
Oh, is that right? It's right next to Golden Nugget?
Yeah, it's like
I didn't realize it was that downtown.
It was what the mermaid thing was, Little Mermaids, where they used to sell the fried Twinkies.
Oh yeah. The fried Twinkies.
Yeah, that's where it is.
Fried Oreos and shit.
Wow. It was cool. But you have to pay if you were to like park there, it'd be $4 minimum.
Oh, okay.
And then after that, it's like the max is like $25 a day. I was just like, damn.
Yikes.
Fuck that. But like I said, it's weird to visit these places and
during this time.
Yeah. And it's also like a vacation now for me because I'm up here in Reno most of the time. So I like to go back. I like to go eat, check shit out. So,
wait, where are you at right now?
I'm in Reno right now.
Oh, okay. When did you get back to Reno?
Yesterday.
Oh, okay.
So
you flew back?
No, I drove back.
Oh, okay.
So I flew back to Vegas to
Oh, got
take care
it.
of some things, but I drove back because I wanted to bring some of the stuff that I had with me.
Right.
Like, like right now, my like I brought my like super good computer here. I got a nice monitor. I got like my piano over here and shit, so I could like be a little bit more productive and do like, maybe be a little bit more motivated because like during like every time we did this podcast, I did on the laptop.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, the computer's getting slower. It's a slower laptop. So I just wanted to,
Have all your tools be more, like be more resourceful.
yeah, be more resourceful and shit. But other than that, good to be back. Both
What's
ways.
the weather over there right now?
Fucking 25 degrees, man.
Sheesh.
Shivering.
Did it snowed and shit?
A little sprinkle, but
Yikes. See, it's just starting to get cold over here. Like I'm starting
yeah.
to feel that at night only. Like, okay, it's kind of nippy.
Yeah.
When the sun is out, the guns is out still. So, nah,
Shit,
man.
But shit, dude.
But that's cool, man. I thought you were still here in Vegas, bro.
Nah.
I didn't even realize you came and gone. Time flies.
Yeah, I had to keep my I wanted to hit you up. I had to keep the
No, it's
amount
all
of
good.
contact, my inner circle a little bit small. So
right.
It's really like, I see my sister, or then maybe like one or two friends. And then I saw my band earlier, but like we had a little get together, but we all wore masks inside. Like we all drank, but we just like kind of agreed like this is all wear masks. Like there's at least 7 people around us, so I don't want to.
Yeah.
And my girl is in the healthcare, and so just keep it safe and shit. But I'll be back. I'll be back every month, just to check on my peeps and shit. And
right, man. Right. Hey, man. You know what? I want to go up there one of these days too, because what you call it? Man, there's mad lakes up there that I want to fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching a bunch of these fishing videos, and there's a couple lakes up there that I want to try and fish. And like there's a bunch of streams. The terrain up in northern for Nevada is a lot more different than the southern Nevada. There's like a bunch of creeks and streams and like lakes there. But one of these days, maybe in the springtime, if you're still up there, I'll come hit you up. I'll maybe fly down, and then maybe if you're gonna come back to Vegas, I'll drive back down with you or whatever you're gonna do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, whatever, man. Shit, but you gotta be fishing, man. You gotta stay at least for like a week here.
I'd stay for a couple of days. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see how it is in the springtime. See how it is when it's a little bit warmer. Maybe not in the winter, but yeah, man. What else is good, man? Shit, man. So, 10 days.
Fucking Sisolak today just announced the same shit we have, 25% capacity till January 15th now.
Yeah, extended the pause. I seen a tweet. Somebody said, Sisolak said, the pause has been extended. And people be like, oh, shit, we had a pause? Yeah. Because I was driving around the other day and I was like, man, like the parking lots are full. Like it don't even seem like there's a pause going on right now. I don't see any changes. You know what I mean? Not too many. Besides the restrictions that he laid on, there's 25% capacity in business. But then I drove by one of the gyms and the gym parking lot looked packed too. So I'm like, isn't gym supposed to be at 25%? Like, I don't know. Like if they're really regulating this thing everywhere. But, I get, he's trying to get us all on the same page, I guess, because other countries and other places who have been on the same page, like they're like damn near COVID free and like having festivals like Australia. For some reason, the US can't get it together and like think cases keep increasing. But, so it looks like we're going to be at least here in Vegas, at least here in Nevada, we're going to be like in a slower start into the new year as far as business and work wise, because, they extended the pause of January 15th. What's going to happen then? They're rolling out vaccines this week, frontline workers, vulnerable population. Who knows? We'll see how this vaccine rollout is going to look like, because who's going to take it? Like, who wants to take it? Do you have to take it? So I don't know, man. It's going to be a slow start into this new year. So
I think people want to take it now, man. I think people are giving themselves up. They're like, let's do this. Like, let's take it and let's see what happens, because people want their lives back. And I understand that, some people just like, let me just take this shit. Fuck it. Let's go.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are relieved that it's out because there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Like, yeah, you might not want to take it, but just in case you have to, there it is. It's here. So, there's still a lot of skeptics out there with how fast they developed this vaccine and whatever. I heard there's like a 95% rate that you won't get sick from it, but then or you won't, I seen a statistic. It said 95% rate of the vaccine, but the 99% if you contracted, and then so it's just weird, man. I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna try and avoid it at all costs. I'd rather risk, getting it and then naturally and then developing antibodies. But I think I keep myself pretty healthy. But if I have to get it, I'm gonna be practical too, and I'm gonna get it. Like if my employer says like, yo, you can't get this job unless you get it, or you can't travel out of state, or you can't travel abroad, then I might as well get it. But I'm not gonna be the first one to get it. I'll tell you that. I'm gonna watch everybody else get that shit first. I might be the third or fourth round.
But it's crazy. It's gonna be one of those vaccines that probably like you have to get them. Like like when we're born, we got to get our polio, we got to get our smallpox, tetanus.
Yeah.
It's gonna be one of those, especially for the newborns. But we don't know what's gonna happen to like young kids yet. Because they haven't tested on kids, just adults. So
yeah, it's crazy. There's I don't know. There's a lot of weird shit. I mean, there's a lot of weird shit surrounding this thing. But my father is in the Navy. He's all for it. They have to get it for work. He's not worried about it. But I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I'm a little bit skeptical, man. I read another statistic that said if you were like 50 years and older right now, that they're giving away. They never used to vaccinate this many. They never used to have this many vaccines for people. You know what I mean? Up until a few decades ago, now like they have all vaccines for everything, and it's just like I don't even take flu shots, man. So it's like
me neither.
I don't know. I don't know about all that vaccine shit, and it's like, we gotta get a new vaccine for this new virus, and then like what I mean, like how many vaccines we gotta take, man? For the kids, I don't know. Yeah, vulnerable population, they could get it, but how about like? I don't know, man. I just don't trust this shit, man. Honestly, it's ass backwards with this health and pharmaceutical shit because they don't stress anything about keeping up on your health. It's always rules, 6 feet distance, and then vaccinate. And then it's just like, what the fuck? Like, what about like de-stress? What about like get some vitamin D? What about get some, some magnesium? What about, like vitamin C? What about meditating? What about, all these other things that you could do that they don't stress anything about? Get some exercise, build up your immune system, drink water, get lots of rest. Like, the people that really get these viruses, I'm not saying it's the weakest people, but like, I'm saying like it attacks people with weaker immune systems. So get your immune system up, take your vitamins, get your exercise, get your sunshine, de-stress, relax. And maybe it won't hit, even if you do get it, it won't hit you as bad. You know what I mean? Like, shit, there's so many damn viruses out here and illnesses and sicknesses that they want us to worry about. It's just like, damn, man, I just don't, when I put it all together, it doesn't add up to me. So that's why I have a lot of questions and hesitations, to be honest.
Well,
and you can call me a conspiracy theorist. People can call me a conspiracy theorist and all that shit, but I don't know. It's just, we'll see. I'm gonna take it slow.
Yeah, well, I think you just have like that thought because we all see is like they're not gonna promote anything you can fix yourself for free,
Yeah, exactly. Because it's the pharmaceutical industry is about money, and that's what I don't like. Because it's like if they're promoting this shit, then they don't really care about us. They just care about getting money. And how do they think about us then? They don't care. They don't think about us as human beings. They think about us as numbers or as cattle or as sheep. So I'm not going to trust the government or whoever is saying to do this, do that, when you don't even care about us. That's my thought process. They don't even care about us. So it's like, we're just numbers and sheep, and they tell us the 6 feet distance and don't, spend time with like the message that they're putting out to people, man. It's not a good message, man. It's fear. It's mongering. It's lack. It's scarcity. It's just not a good message. I don't like it. I see all this shit. When I see it, I'm like, man, they're they're really keeping people like fearful, man, on the edge with all this information and all this uncertainty. And you think that's helping people's health? Like, come on, man, all the information is out there. All the information is out there, but it's like you got to sift through it to really find what's up. You could be the good American two shoe who 6 feet distant, social distances perfectly and keeps hand sanitizer and gets vaccinated. It's like, of course, that's what they want, bro. Like, I just don't know, man. It's easier. It's just easier. And and then some people take it like, oh, if you go against that agenda, then you're rebellious and you don't care about others and you don't care about the greater good. And that's what they want you to think too. I feel like the psyops in this shit is so deep, bro. Like it's just crazy, man. Like these messages that they're putting out on us about when it comes to spending time with your family and wearing your like it's just crazy, bro. It's just, to me, it's crazy, and especially for these kids because they're living through this, and it's just such a weird time, man. It's so weird. We took our daughter to Santa Claus, and they had her in front of a plexiglass, and behind the plexiglass was a Santa Claus wearing a mask, and on his mask was a fake beard with lips on it. It was the creepiest, weirdest thing I ever seen, bro.
Oh my God, bro.
It was like, what is going on here, bro? And they want us to like. It's creepy, man. Sometimes I feel like we're living in an episode of Black Mirror, bro. Honestly, it's just some of these things. I'm like, damn. Like, I look at it and I'm like, this shit is just weird. And people like to just pretend like, oh, just put a smile on. Like, you got to make it normal. And I'm like, bro, this ain't normal though, man. This is some freaky ass shit, honestly. And I don't know, man. It bugs me out. It really does sometimes when I sit back and I look at what's really going on. But that's why I stay to myself. That's why I stay out the drama and the gossip, and I go out into nature and I keep myself in good, like, I keep myself, because I don't know about all that other shit going on out there, man. I really don't. That should be bugging me out, bro.
But I bet those people that do the episodes for Black Mirror are pissed because they're like, damn, they took our idea or whatever,
Bro, we living in this shit right now, bro. So it's crazy.
Anybody that comes out with a movie about COVID is lame, unoriginal, because it's already happened,
Yeah. I mean, it's like we're living in a movie right now too. And, man, all the things that I've been studying about, epigenetics and the metaphysical stuff and health and holistic healing and how we're connected to our environments and our health and our thoughts and all that shit. Like when I'm studying all this stuff and then I compare it to what's going on out here and the fear agenda that the media is pushing and the government is pushing and the greed and the money and all that shit. And I see all this shit and I use my, my critical thinking. I'm like, man, this is like a depopulation scheme, yo. They want like, I don't know, man. I don't, the truth is a lot darker than what you think it is. I honestly believe that. If you really want to go digging deep for what's really going on, I think it's a lot more going on than what people is saying it ought to be. You know what I mean? It's just, so mind your P's and Q's, yo, and take care of your health for real. Don't wear a mask. I wear a mask when I'm in public. You know what I mean? I don't want to be the asshole that's like, coughing and sneezing on people or whatever, whatever. But at the same time, man, like, and social distance, if you have to be respectful, be courteous. I don't want people all up in my space. But at the same time, man, that's just one small part of it. Like, take care of yourself, get enough rest, yo. Like, exercise, do some shit, man. Like, fuck, bro. Like, de-stressing is one of the big things right now because everyone is stressed out right now for one reason or another. So learning ways or finding ways to de-stress and decompress and relax is key right now. It's super, super, super key. Whatever and however you get it, like just get it. Like whether it be exercise or whatever, like it's so key right now. People don't understand how much rest and de-stressing and decompressing will do for you, man, especially in these times right now. And I it's all in this book right here. Stillness is the key. I'm almost done with it. This is the best book. Like I said last podcast by Ryan Holiday. This is the best book I've read all pandemic. I read a few books since March. This is the best one right here. It goes so well with what's going on right now and how to just relax and let go and go with the flow, and also like find your inner stillness amongst this chaos. Because there's a lot of chaos going on right now, and you can't get swept up in it. It's just gonna take you with it. So you got to find those moments of stillness, and there's many ways to find them, not just sitting still and meditating. And when you find that, man, it does so much wonders for your health and for your peace of mind. And I'm gonna get into it later. We can talk about it later. There's a couple what you call it? There's a couple not scriptures, but excerpts that I want to take out from these recent chapters that I feel like is super relevant for this time that we live in right now, where everyone is locked down, everyone is stressing, everyone is uncertain, and everyone is worried. And that's the general consensus. I feel like that's out there right now.
Yeah. To be real, man, like, dude, this money thing is getting more real every week. Like,
yeah,
the worry of your finances is like,
man. Yeah, and Sister put out some shit today, like, oh yeah, there's no more unemployment running out at the end of the month. There's no more government money. There's no more stimulus. And it's like, we don't know. Okay, but like, guess what? You can only not know for how many, for a limited amount of time, because if you don't know if there's any money coming in the next few weeks, shit's gonna start to hit the fan. If we don't see any more money or stimulus or federal help, with everything being shut down, if we don't see anything by mid-January, shit's gonna hit the fan, my G.
Yeah, they need to start working on it, because like, sister, I could say this and that, but he better not be like just go sitting down enjoying a fucking fettuccine Alfredo, smoking a cigar, like
listen.
If he's the man of the people, as he says he is, he should fucking get his ass on this shit.
And that's the thing, though, right? Is like, I don't think they're gonna let this shit hit the fan. They're just telling us like, yo, we don't have nothing for you. And then until the last minute where they have to give us something. Because if they don't give us something, then the shit's gonna hit the fan, man. That's the truth. How are you gonna have shit shut down and then not give anyone any money? Like, that's a recipe for disaster. Like, and they know that. That's the thing. They know that. They come on, man. They spend all this time in boardrooms, and they got a full board of members and people working on this shit. You don't think like the people on top know that you can't keep shit shut down and not give the people federal, stimulus or extended unemployment insurance? Like, come on, man. Like, if we're thinking this on the other side, they know it 10 times over. But the reason, is it gonna come? Or is the shit gonna hit the fan? So,
yeah, politicians, man, you know how it goes. So,
yeah, man.
But let's, that shit's gonna be a running record. We're gonna talk about this forever, probably every fucking week.
That's true,
because that's just what it is. It is what it is. So, but
let's get off that shit.
If something better comes up, hopefully we could talk about this more, and it becomes better news every week. And they're trying to fucking help us out.
Yeah,
and it would be cool. Because he ain't winning.
You're right.
He ain't winning his fucking second term, whenever that shit.
Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so, because he's messed up a lot of things here in this state. Hey, I don't even want to get into, but
at least we're not California. Sorry to the people in Cali.
Yeah, and Cali, like, I don't even know how they're. Yeah, I don't even know how they're doing out there. Like, how are you gonna have a stay-at-home order? Like, I don't even know, man. Listen, that's why I try to tune out, because I don't fucking like understand that shit.
Shit, man. Yeah, tuning out for sure. Because I've honestly, like, maybe I haven't really been involved in the news, but I've heard less about Trump, Biden.
Yeah.
Protests. Yeah. It's all less now. It's just like, now it's like, it's actually more of like entertainment is like in the news, or at least in my realm, like just stupid gossip bullshit or like
Yeah.
whatever celebrity said this and that, or it's more of like unnecessary news that's just like up right now, in my opinion.
Shit to keep you distracted. Like I check news. Don't get me wrong. I check the news every day, like my Google homepage, where it's like, you know, a bunch of articles that I've subscribed to from certain news outlets. But I sift through it. You know, I'm learning about fishing right now. I'm learning about I'm still trying to keep up on my cocktails and, like, you know, certain what's going on right now in the spirit world, as far, not the spirit world like ghosts, but like, you know, alcohol and beverage, because, you know, I was bartending and I like to keep up on that. And you know, just, you know, what's going on back home in Hawaii and certain local news around here in Vegas. But other than that, man, like I try to tune out. I try to tune out most of that shit, man, because it's detrimental, man, to mental health and to time. So um, I would suggest everyone, if you're listening or if you care, tailor your news, watch your consumption of the media, because it's a lot of shit, man. It's infinite amount of bullshit out there. So watch that shit, man.
Yes, sir.
But in other news, let's move on from all that hoopla. We talk about that shit every week.
It's a good
because
thing
it's our current reality, you know.
Yeah.
It's a current reality, so we have to bring it up here and there, and we're all dealing with it in one way or another. So it's only natural that we address it. But we just watched UFC 256, the last pay-per-view on UFC for the year, and wow, it over-delivered.
Yes.
I mean, it seemed like a stacked card, but I mean, it was a pretty badass card.
Yeah.
The fights were very highly entertaining. The whole main card slapped. And the last fight, the main event, was just ridiculous.
Really crazy. It was the flyweight championship, so it was the 125-pound guys. And honestly, this division hasn't really been talked about. It's usually like only a Conor McGregor or maybe a heavyweight or whatever. But these, like, small dudes, they fucking kick ass. They're going from to hell and back. They're like proving themselves, like, you know.
Yo,
I was just like,
Brandon Moreno. I didn't even know who that kid was. It was Brandon Moreno versus
Figueiredo.
But
they call
Figueiredo
him Figgy.
just
They go Figgy.
yeah. You know, Figueiredo, the champion, just fought like 21 days ago, and he fought again. He ran it back, and man, that dude is super dominant and super strong. But man, that Moreno took it to him and almost took the belt from him, and it was such an amazing fight.
Yeah, I think he did win. Yeah, Moreno, he's from Mexico. He represents Tijuana, so he has that Modelo spirit. Or whatever.
Yo, you know what he does for a living? And I seen Ariel Helwani tweet this, so I'm gonna give him the credit. So he said he makes him and his family build, or he makes family piñatas for a living.
Dang.
And it's ironic that he's unbreakable.
But it's crazy. His the opponent, or the champion, he's a hairstylist / sushi chef.
Yeah.
So it's like these two guys that have like regular jobs.
Yeah,
but like,
they're badass fighters.
They're badass fighters, and they're getting their money, man. Because I might have to pay to see that shit again or whatever.
That shit was amazing, man. To see these guys go 5 rounds like ninja style, like, you know, if that was like heavyweights, they wouldn't last at that pace with the amount of work they were putting in on each other. Like, but to see the flyweights do it, that's the thing about the flyweights is, you know, like, man, there's so many shots in those fights. I'm like, I'm surprised that dude ain't knocked out. You know,
it's CT, man. I just saw CT written everywhere over the whole fight. So it was kind of concerning because, like, you know, sometimes those type of fights, they're never the same again.
Oh yeah, those are the fights. Those are the type of wars that'll it'll take a piece from your soul, and you'll never be the same again. You can only have so many of those wars, man, and that was one of those, right? That was one of those wars right there. But even, man, they got to run that back. But Figueiredo ended up going to the hospital right after the fight. He said that he caught a stomach infection and was up until 2 a.m. the night of the fight.
Yeah, he was super
So
emotional after the fight. He was just
yeah,
crying
I like
constantly, and he was like,
yeah, he
"I
was
get
going
it."
through some shit, but not to take anything away from Brandon Moreno because that dude was super durable. I texted you, yo, this dude's more durable than Gumby
Gumby.
because he was getting cracks, man, and I was like, yo, this dude don't even look like he's just eating that shit, bro, and he's just like it almost like he's just like and he don't even look like a big like strong dude, like. And he was eating that shit, bro. He was eating that shit up. Body
Yeah,
shots, body kicks. He got kicked in the balls to where he was like spitting up and like coughing and shit. I'm like, damn, this dude, like,
yeah,
that shit was like, that fight was like crazy, bro.
yeah.
Oh,
To any
shit.
dudes that ever got like kicked in the balls hella hard, like
Yeah.
you would throw up probably.
Yeah, you
Like
can feel
you're
like throwing up.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that's like it hurt that bad, and he got kicked in the balls in the third round, and but I thought Moreno won the fight. He won 3 rounds. He
I
won
thought he
the
won fight. I thought he won too, man. Like I don't know about that majority draw, and they even took away a point for the ball for the nut kick.
yeah.
But
So
like
it
I was like,
was,
yo, yeah, he took and like all those takedowns. I'm like, yo,
but you know the saying, right? Never leave it to the judges.
yeah, man. I think he won that fight though, because he took down Figueredo a lot, and there was many flurries where he caught Figueredo. Figueredo had maybe more octagon control, but that doesn't mean he was doing more damage.
Right.
So I don't know.
But
Yeah,
it
they
looked
just gonna
like
have
it
to run
hurt
it back.
more. It looked like it hurt
It did.
more.
It did definitely look like he's stronger than. That's what I'm saying. Like Figueredo is super strong. He just looks super strong.
Yeah, so that
But
with the
this
judges,
dude,
yeah, the judges
yeah,
would see that like, oh, he's just
yeah,
advancing and he's punching and he's getting punched too in the face too. So, but he's not
yeah.
like really look like he's getting affected, even though he is getting.
He got rocked a couple times though.
Yeah, yeah.
That's for sure.
But
But
good
man,
fight.
that was such a good fight.
You guys should watch that. It's Ferguson. I don't know. Figueredo
Figueredo,
versus Moreno. Watch
yeah.
it on
Yo,
YouTube or something.
that Cub Swanson fight was ill too. Cub Swanson is back, man.
Yeah. And then the boogeyman got fucking worked.
Oh yeah, dude.
Tony Ferguson, who is he's a 155 pounder, probably one of the elites, the craziest cardio in the game, the craziest. I know he's a character in himself, and he fought this dude that like looks like him,
Yeah,
Charles Oliveira, and the dude Oliveira just worked him,
he just big brothered him
dude.
in every area on the
Dude,
ground
you
and
see the
on
one
the
where he
feet.
snapped his arm when his arm was like pulled beyond extension, and I was like, "Oh my!" That was a reverse elbow, man. The elbow went reverse, and I was like,
That was bad. That was bad.
Yeah,
Only Tony could survive that. And
yeah."
yeah, the Charles Oliveira, big brother Tony Ferguson. I never seen anyone. I
Wrestled,
mean,
jujitsu,
it's
everything.
just bad. It's just bad because I don't know what's up with Tony. He didn't even look the same. Like his body looked different.
But
And then
let's not like discredit Tony. Just I think that it's not that Tony was weak. It's just Oliveira was just good, that day.
no, he's good as shit.
But Tony, I think he would have whooped like somebody below him, but it's just
But to
Oliveira brought the
lose that
game.
bad though, I don't know. I think just after that Gaethje fight and then cutting weight, it all started from him cutting weight twice. That was a pride and ego thing. And then fighting Gaethje and getting his soul taken from him. And then I don't know, man. He just didn't. He just like was not. I don't know. I feel like he could have done better in this fight. I don't know. We've seen a better Tony, but Charles Oliveira is good as shit, right? And he's like on an 8-fight winning streak, and he's only 31. And he's getting better. But man, I never thought I would see Tony get big brothered like that on the feet and on the ground.
Man,
So
imagine if the Khabib fight actually did happen.
oh yeah, people was like, don't ever say Khabib is scared of Tony again, because after that fight, Khabib would probably run through Tony.
He would have finished him. He would have.
He probably would have ripped his arm off, like all the way off.
He said, with respect, I'm gonna fucking just rip your arm off and just
he probably. I mean, if that 10 planet jiu-jitsu is not, it's not looking too good right now. But yeah, man, if Charles Oliveira did that to Tony, I think Khabib would have just ragdolled Tony, bro. Honestly. So maybe it was better we didn't see that, but whatever. I don't think he wants it now. He's not going to make it up to fight Khabib now after losing these 2 fights. He's going to have to. Who knows who Tony's going to fight next?
Yeah,
he's going to fight with Sean O'Malley.
He's going to fight. Yeah. Well, shit, man. UFC gets better every fucking week, man. Props to Dana White.
Props to Dana keeping us entertained.
People can say whatever about him, but dude, he's been.
Are you not entertained?
Bringing that entertainment.
Are you not entertained?
So
right here at the Apex, right here in Las Vegas.
Yes, sir.
But yeah.
So as you can tell by my background, everybody, Man on the Moon 3, the trilogy from Brother Kid Cudi came out a couple days ago. I guess we're gonna talk about that because it literally came out midnight Eastern time. So I listened to it like 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Like I told my girl, like, hey, can you put she was watching like Korean drama. I was like, can you put it on like mute and just read the subtitles? Cause I need to fucking listen to this album. And I was like, let's go. So I listened to it. I guess my thoughts in like short. I really like the second part of the album.
Yeah.
The first part is more like that classic Cudi, like let's get turned, let's get, and stuff like that. Then at that second half, it's more like, okay, you did the mushrooms, now it's fucking peaking. Now you're gonna realize some shit, and you're like, you're in the void. He's just like, falling in the void and shit. So, and then like telling you it's gonna be okay at the end, and you're just like laying there tripping on psychedelics, and you're just like, what? You're just like flying to the sky, or that's what.
Yeah. No, I feel you though. Like from track number 10 on, Sad People on, I'm just vibing out to that whole shit, man. I can't wait to I'm looking forward to tripping and listening to it because that's what really, I've always liked Kid Cudi ever since Man on the Moon 1 or the first Man on the Moon and like Solo Dolo and all that stuff. And we even went to a show at the we seen an epic Kid Cudi show at where was it? SLS.
Well, we go twice. We went first one we went to the Chelsea.
Remember? Yeah, the Chelsea.
And then the second one went to the SLS.
And both shows were crazy fire. I love his whole set. And but it wasn't until like 3 years ago where I started listening to Kid Cudi like on psychedelics, where it really, really hit home for me personally. Where I'm like, I remember listening to Man on the Moon 2 on acid, and like just even looking at the album cover and listening to the music, I felt like I felt like he was talking to me at that time in my life and in that moment, and I just understood the music on a whole different level. And that's when I was like, whoa, let me go back and like listen to everything else, because like I just understood it like deeper on a deeper level. And I went back and listened to everything else, and just bringing, he released Man on the Moon in 2009, Man on the Moon 2 in 2010. And then he made, a whole bunch of albums in consecutive years after that, I think from 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16. And then 10 years later with Man on the Moon 3. And I love it because I think the timing was perfect. I think those moods and those sounds that we heard from the other 2 Man on the Moons are super reminiscent. And man, it's just like so good to hear that style of Cudi.
The Man on the Moon sound, because I was listening
to Man on the Moon sound, with those hummings and the hymes, and I'm just like, man, I missed that shit. And to hear that, in a current version in these times, I just want to dive it. I listened to the album a few times since it's come out, just in the background, but like I really, really want to dive deep into it. And the deepest way I could dive is if like I'm tripping on a little bit of shroom or a little bit of acid and just consuming the whole fucking thing, because I know that there's many layers to this music, man. Even with like other.
Go ahead, sorry. But
No, I mean just even like with other like musicians like Childish Gambino or like Mac Miller, and like when you listen to it in different states, there's so many different nuances and moods and layers to that shit. So you can't just listen. I mean, for me, I can't listen to it and be like, okay, I got it. Like I gotta really like put that shit on repeat for a minute and like, yo, I'm like, oh, like I feel that shit now. You know what I mean? Like, so I can't wait to
yeah.
like really dive deep into it.
Yeah, I listened to it sober, man. I was just feeling that shit like pretty well sober, man. I was just like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
this I'm feeling this.
No,
Um
no, yeah, I definitely,
the thing about
yeah,
Cuddy is like to I guess speaking more musically, or maybe I don't know how like he gets his creativity. You know when people say like people listen to like the Grateful Dead, like like you gotta listen, you don't understand it until you're on
yeah,
psychedelic
yeah, yeah.
shit like that. I don't necessarily think like Cuddy's like that, but I do think that he's writing his music or making the beats of his music to the tempo, the tempo of psychedelics, like
Yeah.
the frequency. Like there's a certain frequency when we're tripping. It's like a like it's not fast. It's not fast. It's like a nice steady rhythm,
Yeah,
And I
it's like a
feel that.
natural rhythm.
Yeah, it's like for some reason, like I could just like I could feel like I'm tripping without being on it, because it like
Right.
gives me like a flashback to
Yeah.
my old trips
Yeah.
and stuff.
No, yeah, he brings it back, man. It's super reminiscent of like um of tripping, man. And the first track is called Beautiful Trip,
mhm.
and it's like a short, like just some music, like 30 seconds and everything. But
And
but
it counts down, and it goes 3, 2, 1.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. And man, this I really like Sad People. I
mhm,
like September 16th.
yeah.
The Void is cool. I like For the Kids.
It's some
Um
interesting
yeah,
features.
there's some interesting features on there.
Pop Smoke, the late Pop Smoke's in it.
Yeah, that
Um,
was a dope beat with
Skepta.
Skepta. Yeah, fire.
They're showing that what's it called,
Yeah, the
drill.
drill, like drill beats, like
Yeah,
that style that Pop Smoke was on, and Skepta's been on, and it's that drill music. And then
yeah,
like for Kid Cudi to hop on that was pretty dope.
yeah.
But
Trippy
I
Red.
did,
Yeah.
yeah. Did you see that? I seen the interview with him and Zane Lowe, and
Who? Oh, Cuddy or
yeah, it's like a 50,
I need to watch
Cuddy
that.
and Zane Lowe. It's like a 50-minute interview. Very, very good interview. Cuddy really seems like he's in a really good place mentally and spiritually. He said, he's paced out his workload, and he's gonna do albums every other year, but he wants to act more and design more and do other things besides just music. And it's better for him and his mental health and his family, and he's cool with everyone in his life. And then he talks about he said in the beginning of the interview, he was like, he was worried about fans thinking like, yo, shouldn't you be over this part of your life already? Like that sad boy, emo, solo dolo shit. And Cuddy said that, he realized that some things never go away and they come in waves. And there's not a quick fix or a permanent solution to just everything. So he was talking about like, he got sober and he went to rehab, and then he realized a lot of things, and then he wouldn't feel like he quit cocaine cold turkey, and then he wouldn't feel like all these feelings of depression and despair for like 8 months, and then like boom, all of a sudden they would come out of nowhere, and then it would hit him, and it would be like, damn, like I thought I never felt you in a while, like I haven't felt these feelings in a couple years, but now they're back. And he talks about just revisiting those old feelings that that you thought you got rid of, these old demons, and that they pop up when you least expect it, and they kind of drag you back down because you thought you defeated them, but they're still around, and you still got to deal with them. And I really resonated with that because in my own journey, like just like in my own self-development journey and my own growth and evolution, like there's a lot of bad habits and triggers that I'm trying to work through and drop. and sometimes they come back up. And when they come back up, I beat myself up about them because I'm like, damn, I've been working so hard to like, you know, defeat these demons or drop these bad habits or work through these triggers. And when they come back up, you tend to beat yourself up. And I love that Cudi was, talks about like, yo, like it's okay to like just feel whatever the fuck you feel, like, some things, there ain't no quick fix to everything. And there's no life is good all the time forever. Like there's always going to be ups and downs, and you just got to find that balance in whatever and pace yourself out like he did. Like whether it be making an album every other year, not having to do one every year consecutively because you feel pressure to, and then you lose meaning in your relationships with your family and your friends. I think we talked about the last podcast, it's all about finding that balance and teeter-tottering on that fine line and see what works best for you at that time during these times. And Cudi's always been super, like when I was listening to the album, I'm like, man, he's really he doesn't care what people think about him, and he's making music from the soul. He's not worried about being judged. He talks about judging himself sometimes. He's talking about his writing process where he was like, he tries to write and not judge himself and be like, okay, that's dope. And he tries not to judge himself, which a lot of us tend to do. Be like, no, I'm not gonna put that out because that sounds corny. You're judging yourself,
Mm-hmm.
And Cudi talks about like he just goes, he makes it really organic, and he just figures out better ways to say things, but he tries not to judge himself. He tries to give the pure raw vulnerability and emotion, and that translates obviously because a lot of people feel his music, all types of people. So he's a hero in that sense, because not everyone is willing to look to show you that vulnerable side or to really like deal with their problems in front of other people. But when you do that, other people can look to you for inspiration and for strength because they know that you're not the only one. When I read through all these Cudi comments like on fan pages or threads, I'm seeing so many kids from all around the world talking about, yo, he saved my life. Like that shit is a beautiful thing. It's not about like stunting and like flossing and who's got bigger what. Like you could still be whatever and still be dealing with your mental, emotional health and be honest about it, And Cudi's just one of those dudes who, yeah, he's successful. Yeah, he's pretty rich. But he has demons like the rest of us, and he's not, he's not lying about them. He's dealing with it and actually right in front of us through his music. He talks about how his music for him is a one big SOS. It's just to put it out there to see who feels like he does. And man, I relate with that. I resonate with that too, because this is why we podcast. This is why I want to create, dope shit or whatever, because like I want to connect with people who feel me, who are like me, and so I get that, and I think that shit was dope as fuck.
Yeah, it takes a lot of balls to be so open like that, even before,
Yeah, even before
like this whole social media thing was big, like Cudi was already out there. He was just like, yeah, it's a little bit weird right now in my life, and he keeps making awesome music, and I don't know, it's so nice, man. I've been putting that shit on repeat, and it also just gives me another perspective on like musical artists, like the ones that are like the fact that we talk about Cudi like he's like a brother to us, It just makes me understand other artists too. Not that I relate to them, but how other people feel about these other artists. Like even though even if I don't fuck with them, like let's say example, like I don't listen to this guy, but like Juice WRLD, right? Juice WRLD.
Yeah.
People fucking love that guy. Like he's like, people are like, he's 21, he died from accidental OD or whatever, but like he's like, oh no, he's a fucking legend, or like XXX Tentacion, or like all these like young kids,
all these kids, these kids these rappers that the kids look up to,
and a lot of these kids are relating to them, and like think they're like the best, and it gives me a lot of respect for anybody that's doing music and just putting themselves out.
Yeah, their truest form of themselves, even if it's not the prettiest, even if it's not like the most glamorous. Like if you can be honest and but make it dope and make it real, make people will feel that shit, And I listened to some of like Triple X Tentacion's music, and it was like hardcore, angry, emo, like all the emotions of the youth, though.
Yeah.
Like these new rappers, they're a reflection of the youth, and I don't really listen to it that much, but I can when I do peep it, and I'm like, okay, I understand. Like, damn, this is how the youth is feeling. They're all hopped up on drugs and sad and relate.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a good look, but like from relating it to its reality, though, you know what I mean, and relating it to an artist who's putting themselves out there and being vulnerable and speaking their truth, whatever that truth is. You got to respect it, because a
Yeah.
lot of these motherfuckers is fronting out here, man.
Yeah, and it's nice to see it in other art forms too. Like maybe you do like short film, maybe you do poetry, or
Yeah,
um, maybe you paint.
yeah, yeah. It could be anything. Like it really could be anything, and and that's a good segue to this book that I've been reading. Stillness is the key, and I'm gonna read a couple excerpts from this chapter called "Find a Hobby," since we are talking about activities and stuff. And so this book, I've been talking about it these last few podcasts, and it's just a whole bunch of chapters on and information on how to find like how to get to that still part within you that knows the best, like the wisest part, and it's within us, but it's underneath all the noise and the distractions and all the hoopla that's out there, and you have to find your way to tune into it. Like you have to find it. It's there.
like your like how like we trip. Like when I trip, like I
You have
do
epiphanies, right? You have
epiphanies,
realizations.
or I am speaking to myself, but speaking to my
Yeah.
greater self.
Yeah, you're speaking to your greater self, and that when you're speaking to your greater self, there's truth that comes across there that you can't run from. It's there. And when you speak to your highest self, it's like, oh shit, like, okay, I should listen to this because this is 100% truth right in my face. I can't run from it, And we can access that without psychedelics, with practice, doing other things in many different ways, like I said. But anyway, so this chapter is called Find a Hobby. And I'm going to talk about a few highlighted parts that I wrote, that I highlighted here. And there's one part that goes, it talks about leisure, right? So like, when you think about leisure, it's like, oh, like doing whatever, relaxing, chillaxing, right? That's what most people think about when they think about leisure. So it says here, when most of us hear the word leisure, we think of lounging around and doing nothing. In fact, this is a perversion of a sacred notion. In Greek, leisure is rendered to skole or skale, that is school. Leisure historically meant simply freedom from the work needed to survive, freedom for intellectual or creative pursuits. It was learning and studying and the pursuit of higher things. So leisure is not just lounging around doing nothing. Leisure actually means activity, but like without an agenda. Like, so it goes
Freedom.
on and yeah. So, um, so it goes on here. Jesus, for instance, rested out on the water and fished with his disciples. Seneca wrote about how Socrates loved to play with children and how Cato loved to relax with wine and how Scipio was passionate about music and on and on and on. All these people had all these different leisure things. Herbert Hoover loved fishing so much, he wrote a book about it, the title, Fishing for Fun and to Wash Your Soul. The swordsman Musashi, whose work was aggressively and violently physical, took up painting late in life and observed that each form of art enriched the other. Indeed, flower arranging, calligraphy, and poetry have long been popular with Japanese generals and warriors, a wonderful pairing of opposites, strength and gentleness, stillness and aggression. Leisure is not the absence of activity. It is activity. What is absent is any external justification. You can't do leisure for pay. You can't do it to impress people. You have to do it for you. And it goes into like this. Many people find relief in strenuous exercise. Sure, it might make you stronger at work, but that's not why you do it. It's meditative, to put the body in motion and direct our mental efforts at conquering our physical limitations. The repetition of a long swim, the challenge of lifting heavy weights, the breathlessness of a sprint. There is a cleansing experience, even if it is accompanied by suffering. It's a wonderful feeling there, right before the sweat breaks, when we can feel ourselves working the stress up from the deep recesses of our soul and our conscious mind, and then out of the body. So I love it. And it goes on and on. It goes into deeper detail, but basically, to if we're gonna be a workhorse, like, that's why, like, Michael Jordan, like, he was one of Michael Jordan's leisure activities, or his most known, was golf, and he also also gambling. But you have to find an activity to take your mind off all the work. When I see a lot of these UFC embeddeds, and I see like a lot of people cutting weight, and leading up to the fight, the week of the fight, one person sticks out to mind. I don't know, just off top. And it was Robert Whitaker, because while everyone's tripping, doing all this crazy shit, he's over here playing video games. And a lot of people don't understand, like, damn, you have a big crazy fight coming up. Like, you're worried about, like, why are you playing video games? And what he's doing is he's taking his mind off the fight, because he already knows how to fight. He's putting in all the hard work. Now it's just time to relax and find that still, calm, relaxed, place within you, so that, your body can just take over when it's time. You don't want to overwork yourself, overstress yourself. So one of the ways to find stillness within you is to take up an activity, whatever it is, whether it be fishing, painting, calligraphy, archery, running, swimming, cooking, anything that you can do regularly and that you love, without any pursuit of an agenda or a goal, just to do it, working out, just so that you could put your body in motion and your mind at ease. And when you do that, you'll find, like, you'll gain a lot of insights. You'll charge up your energy. You'll do a lot of these things. It's not just sitting around and binge eating and watching Netflix and marathon movies. That's not really how this book explains leisure, and how the Greeks explain leisure. It's a activity without a pursuit of an end goal. And that's just one of the many great chapters in this book. I can go fucking on and on. When I finish this book, I'm gonna do a full review on it. I'm gonna do like a short excerpt video, and I won't put it out there, man, because I think it's there's so many gems in this book, man. And I've been finding stillness within myself through conscious practice and effort and intention. Whenever I find something that rises within me, that gets a rise within me throughout the day, like, irritates me, annoys me, and I recognize that shit, and it's from stillness. It's from not reacting to it. It's because there's a lot of things that's pulling at you and trying to poke you and trying to trigger you, and they can get a rise out of you. But if you're calm, if you're still, you won't react to it. And I think I've been better with that since I've been reading this book, honestly, because I can be a short, hot-headed motherfucker at sometimes, and I've been working on that a lot lately in these last few years of my life. So, yeah. Perfect.
Agree. Totally agree with that. Just gotta find something to do that you like, that will, no agenda.
Take your mind off the real work. Like it said earlier, find something to do that you like that will take your mind off the work needed to survive. A lot of us have to work to survive, and some of that work is grueling and it's hard, it's monotonous. But if you can find something that'll take an activity as well, not just sitting around doing unhealthy shit, an activity that you like, that'll take your mind off of that work, it's like a balance. It'll help balance you out in many, many ways. So find a hobby, find a productive, active hobby, and it'll help you a lot, man.
Yeah,
I know fishing has helped me a lot for sure.
Yeah, fishing. Yeah, shit, man. I need to try that shit out, man. But I've been doing Well, I cook all the time, man. That shit's just zen mode shit
Yeah,
all
yeah,
day. Some like when I write music or whatever, sometimes I'm just stuck on this one idea, man. And sometimes I'm just like droning out. I'm just like playing this in my head over and over and over. But like for some reason, it's like working in my head, like this idea. I want to manifest this idea, do
yeah,
something fucking better. You know, it's like I don't have an agenda. I'm just playing this, you know, like I don't have a timeline. I don't have like structured time. It's like full freedom, you know,
yeah.
especially during
And
these
you,
fucking times.
yeah, and you're a lot more open to possibilities. Another person that comes to mind real quick before we get off this is Bob Marley. He used to say that his writing process was like this. He would smoke early in the morning or whatever, and then he would go play soccer.
Mm.
That was his leisure, was soccer. He said in an interview or somewhere in a book that I read that when he would smoke, chill out, get irie, then go play soccer, all of the inspiration would come out of him. The lyrics would just come to him, and then he would go write and play music. And that was his writing process. He would smoke, go get active, play soccer, and then he would feel like all the shit came to him. And when I read something like this, I'm like, man, that makes sense. That was his leisure activity, was soccer, So yeah, get a
That's
hobby, folks, and don't quit your day job.
Get a hobby, go to Hobby Lobby, you know. Nah.
Get your ass to Hobby Lobby, you know what I mean?
Nah. Don't go to Hobby Lobby. I don't know about that shit.
Nah,
I remember going there as a kid and like
go to Joanne's. Nah.
yeah, go to Michael's, you know.
Listen, my favorite store right now is a Sportsman, man. I've been going to Sportsman Warehouse, hunting, fishing, outdoor activity. I love going in there, man. And I've been really going into this like nature, like outdoor, like the whole vibe, the whole style, the whole like tactical shit. I'm so into that shit right now, man. Like I'm about to get me some camo mossy oak pants. Like I'm about to be out here, bro.
Bro, you should try out for that show alone. They drop
Nah,
your
fuck
ass
that.
up.
I'm not. See, I don't want to do it for
drop your ass
survival.
off and then survive, man. This
Nah, man. I'm not doing it for survival. I'm doing it for fun, for leisure, bro. For leisure.
Hey, man. Hey, bro. Sometimes, man, sometimes leisure is survival, man, for some people, man.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's good to know to learn these skills and whatnot and learn outdoor skills and activity and whatnot. But nah, I'm not really trying to like be Bear Grylls up in this bitch.
Yeah. That shit's crazy, man.
Les Stroudman out here, you know what I mean?
Dude, when you mentioned Musashi, and like for some reason this thought came in my head like about how people used to battle back in the day. Like let's say like
death.
To the death, but even like more recently, like let's say like the Civil War, Gettysburg, you know. I don't know, I can't speak for like any of this shit, but like why in like maybe it's a movie thing, why in battle do two forces run at each other full force and try to attack each other? Like that's not smart. That's how you get killed hella fast, right?
And the people on the front lines, like you're gonna die. Like that. That's the crazy shit. Is like how much did they value life back then? When oh, here's one thing. Since you brought that up, it's kind of like out the blue segue, but you remember the movie 300?
Yes.
How in that movie they depicted, Leonidas is gonna pick 300 of his best soldiers to go out into battle, to fight, the army of Greece or whoever it was,
Xerxes, whatever,
Xerxes and whatnot. And you bring this up, and like we think about old school wars and battles, and like motherfuckers is on the front lines and shit, like with bayonets and like the motherfuckers on the front line gonna die for sure. So it's like, but they were so willing to go out there and everything and go out there and fight, and all that conflict somehow some way led to where we're at right now. But as far as with the going back to the 300 Leonidas and all that shit, the movie depicted it a little bit different. In the real legend of Leonidas, when he picked his soldiers to go out into battle, it wasn't the strongest soldiers. He did not pick the strongest and biggest and bravest and baddest soldiers to go out there. he picked the ones with the strongest wives because he knew that if these men were going to die, that the wives were going to have to take over. And he picked the ones with the strongest wives so that when these men died, the wives can take over and like really take over the throne in their empire. And imagine one lady had her husband and her brother go or her son go or something like that. And Leonidas was like, why she was like talking to Leonidas, like, why are you going to send both of them? And Leonidas told her, because you're the strongest woman of them all. And if you lose, the others are going to look to you. And if they see that you can handle losing your husband and your son, then they can do it too. Mm-hmm. And she took that responsibility on the back. So imagine like back in the day, like people like war masters, like they thought their strategies were like deep, because they're thinking about the longevity of their civilization, of their people. Mm-hmm. It's the war, like the way they went to war, the way they went to battle, who they chose to go out into battle was like it was like calculated, and they had a lot of time to plan this out because there wasn't cell phones or whatever the fuck, you're in castles, you're wherever you're at, you're planning these battles out, and I thought that was really interesting that, he picked the ones with the strongest women so that when the men died, the women could take over.
Man, because, that's just different times, man, because
yeah,
back in the day, man, like, people are willing to die for what they believe in,
Yeah, for sure, that without hesitation.
Nowadays, nah, man, I ain't going to the fucking war, dude. Not Vietnam War style. Like, I ain't going there. Yeah. What the fuck are we fighting for?
That. And exactly. And nowadays, we don't need to be on the front lines. Motherfuckers is like sending, you do drones and shit, bro. I'm not trying to be on no front line.
Yeah.
No disrespect to anyone that's ever been, I've had family members in war, and it's just an unfortunate thing, it's I don't think concept, war is the answer.
Yeah, it's that concept of like they're taking away our freedom. Like, no, they're not taking away anything away from us. Like,
and it's just like whose war are we fighting? And like, what's the purpose of the war? Is it really for a country? Like these are hard questions to ask because people have died for this country. So they're hard questions to confront.
Like the war, like there's a war right now. I think it's Turkey versus Armenia or something like that.
Yeah, I've
been
hearing
some crazy shit going on over there. Like, I don't know the details. I just know a lot of motherfuckers are dying, man. And a lot of people are protesting. They're fighting for what they believe in, and it's a rich history because it goes back to the Armenian massacre and like genocide in like 1900 something, So it gets deep, but like, nowadays, it's more tactical with war. We're not running face to face, because I'd be watching movies. I'm like, why did the front line just run as fast as they can and then get shot up? Like, I'm just like, like, come on,
imagine,
man.
Like back at the weapons they had back then, like the catapulting like boulders at you, and
like arrows,
fucking arrows, and
mace,
fucking ball and chain. I'm like, yo, that's like the most wicked way to fucking die, yo.
Like, you're
swords.
Running. Yeah, you're running, dude, as fucking hard as you can. Then you see fucking Genghis Khan and his horse just fucking swoop, cut your head off. And then you're just like, damn, dude, everything I worked for in my fucking life came down to that moment, and I got my head fucking chopped off, stuff like that. I'm just like, But I know, I thought that crazy. was just a weird thought in my head thinking about that. And
who knows, like what they were thinking, during those times on the front lines.
That's weird.
Who knows? Like a motherfucker's just like, oh, I'm like, and I'm about to go in. I'm not. And then like, in the movies they depict like, oh, they're saying bye to your family. Like you're about to die right now. Like how, like that. I don't know, man. Like nowadays, I couldn't see that shit.
Not even the first time. It was like your third time doing this. This is like your third time doing this shit, and it's a fucking trip, man. But the world wouldn't be what it is if it wasn't for our past.
We had to go through all those conflicts, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. But I don't know anything else you want to talk about, or you want to wrap this up. It's been a good
yeah, we
minute.
can wrap this up. It's been like an more than an hour.
Almost an hour.
Next week is Christmas. This week, we just maintaining. So yeah, man, that's all, man. I mean, who knows what's gonna happen in this next week? There's always shit to talk about. There's always things going on.
Same
I hope if you made it through this podcast and you made it all the way to the end, we appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in. Leave a comment, drop us a like, share it, give us some feedback. Yeah.
Let us know, man, because we don't give a fuck if it's 10 people listening or 10,000 people. We're going to keep doing this shit.
We still going to be the same. So peace and love to everybody out there. Stay up, stay light, stay vigilant, and take care of each other and check in with us because we check in with you. Stephen Mack, To Reserve Podcast. Peace.
See ya.